Do you have nerves going into it, excitement, or the emotions?
Excitement. I try not to get nervous. I think anxious, is a better word. I would say, I'm just excited to get up there and ready to get after it. I feel like we've been getting a good groove here, working for the last month and a half here, and now, we get some time for ourselves, and then we get to go right up there and get back to business. But, I'm going to be sharpening my tools and continuing to stay sharp on things, and can't wait to get up there.
Does anything stand out to you about DK?
You just look at the guy. He's a specimen. He's something else. Just the way that he covers ground with his strides, and the way that he works. You see a lot of guys like that. It's rare to see somebody that is willing to catch for a rookie quarterback on any route that he needs. Hey DK, could you go spot up a corner for me? No problem. Like, he is super hardworking. Just respectful, goes about his business, and a great dude too. He's if I make a good play, like, he's coming over to me, dapping me up. Like, he's been awesome, man. And I'm excited to get to work with him.
Have you played with a receiver that big before? I know Jeremiah was pretty big. How's that kind of compare to him?
Jeremiah's pretty big, but I think DK's just a little more developed. I could see JJ getting pretty big like that, but yeah, definitely DK, is the biggest I've played with.
I know we jumped in here a little late, but how have your interactions been with Aaron Rodgers?
They've been awesome. He's a great mentor. Has already treated me with the utmost respect and just been really good to me. And a guy like that, he doesn't have to do that. So I really just appreciate him being willing to kind of take me under his wing a little bit and give me pointers and tips here and there. And there's already some things that he's said to me that have already helped me, so I'm just excited to learn as much as I can from that guy and take everything that he says and try and put it in the bank, and just continue to learn every single day and get better, because that's what being a rookie is about.
What's one thing that stands out that he said?
Nothing in particular, really. I'd say, like, he told me on my 5-step drops, hey, don't get too wide on the top of your drop. Hey, keep your base a little tighter just so you can generate more force. And that was just something he said yesterday that already, like, helped me out today. And out there on the field, I could already tell, like, that was an impact for me. So, I know it's going to be continual, and he's when he says it, he's like, hey, I don't want to overstep. I'm like, dude, like, please, by all means, tell me whatever you think. And so, yeah, I'm excited to just continue to get, to learn more and to get closer with him and with all the guys in the room, and just help the Steelers win.
He said he's sitting next to you during meetings and stuff now, right?
Yeah. We found ourselves sitting next to each other in the unit meeting, and it was pretty cool. It's day one, and he obviously. There's some new things that we threw in, and he's like asking me, like, hey, what's this again? And I'm telling him, what is going on right now? Like, this is crazy. I'm telling Aaron Rodgers, like, what this, it's crazy though. It's cool.
You have certain memories of watching him play?
Remember him winning the Super Bowl in what was that, 2010? Yeah, I was 9 years old. I remember watching that. I remember seeing him up there with the car after they won the game. Like, I vividly remember that, so. I've watched him my whole life, man. It's surreal to be in a room with a guy that is as seasoned and as much of a veteran as he is. So it's exciting.
You know that was against the Steelers, right?
Say that one more time. I'm sorry. Oh yeah, that was really cool. 2-minute drill. We're getting down there, and we had gotten some chunk plays, and I think the rules of a 2-minute drill, to me, I always think about, you want to get at least one chunk play, one explosive play, no negative plays, no sacks, no turnovers, obviously, and you got to take completions. And I feel like we did a good job, in the beginning of the drive, taking completions, working the ball down the field, and, they kept running that kind of junk cover 2 kind of coverage, and, they ended up opening to speed, and Roman was to the boundary, and I came out, and Darnell was out to the field, and just put that thing up for the big boy and let him work. And I trusted him, and I knew that he was going to be there and make that catch, and that was a really cool way to end practice yesterday.
Well, you played a lot of football over the past 11 months or so.
Yeah.
Do you have to afford yourself a couple of weeks off here before training camp?
I think for sure you got, especially as a rookie, you have to take a little time for yourself, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be doing nothing. It doesn't mean I'm just going to be laying on my butt and and eating chips and whatever. Like, I'm still going to be working out. I'm still going to be staying in shape and studying the playbook. But, I definitely, we all are going to get away. We're all going to get some time. And, obviously we went on a pretty big run in the playoffs, went straight into combine training, straight into pro day training, and then draft, and then you're here. It's pretty continuous and nonstop. But no, I'm excited to get home, spend some time with my family, but also continue to get ready for Latrobe.
Was that your first 2 minute?
What's that?
Was that your first 2 minute of these 3 days?
Yes, that was my first, and I think only 2 minute of these last 3 days. So.
Did you do any in OTAs? Or?
No, we didn't do any 2 minute in OTAs. So that was my first one here.
All right,
I've done it a ton in college, but
right,
it was my first one here at the NFL level.
It's June. It doesn't count.
Right.
Does it count?
I mean, hey, it's a good
good
start. Yeah, it's a good start. I mean, but it doesn't mean anything. It's obviously it's June. It's minicamp. It's football-like environment. It's not quite football yet. But it's a good start. It's a good place to start from, and just got to continue to get better and keep building.
You heard anything about what Latrobe's like?
I've heard some things. They say it's a grind. They say it's hot, but I'm excited. I think my high school team back in high school, we used to go to Shippensburg every year, and we do like a camp where we did like 3-day practices, and it was a grind and it sucked. But at the same time, I loved it just because I was around my teammates. We got to get so much closer by that. So I'm excited. I can't wait to get up there and grind. And I know being a quarterback, it probably won't be as physically grueling maybe for me as, maybe the guys in the trenches. But mentally, I got to be on my stuff, and I'm excited.
What was the biggest adjustment or learning that you had to learn?
I feel like coming from Oregon, we had the same defense, so I'm playing the same same position. Biggest difference for me is really just learning the speed of the game. Understanding the speed of the game is way different than college.
What do you do to prepare yourself between now and reporting Latrobe?
Just train. I'm going out to Dallas, train at Sports Academy again. Really just work.
What do you ask around what Latrobe is like, what you're in for, beyond any of the veterans, what it's like?
When I did, they mostly said it was going to be hot. That's pretty much it. They said it was going to be hot. So I'm ready for it. So I'm being Texas Heat to get ready for that.
What's your emotions like? Nervous, excited, getting upset?
Really excited. I was ready to get to work, man. Really put them pads on and really hit somebody.
Is there anything specific conditioning-wise they asked the defensive linemen to do before you report, or you young guys?
Not like mandatory, but Coach Dunbar made sure he put an emphasis on us doing some gashers. He wants to do a lot of gashers, sir.
What's it been like working with Dunbar for the last couple of years?
Just in this short time, you can tell he's a great coach. He's a guy that's on little details 24/7. He's worried about the little details. He has a drill for every position on the field. Whatever position we get in, and when any of our defenses, he has a drill for it. And that's what I really love about this game.
What's the biggest thing I've learned from Tim Hubbard over the last couple of weeks, being here and being around it with you in the building?
Really just work ethic. He comes in OTAs. We were still here. That shows a lot about his character and the type of player he is. Really just working and just trying to get the little details from him, man, because details are the most important.
Yeah. Is there anything about him that surprises you that you still doing that the same 3 years?
No, sir. No, sir.
What do you feel like you've trained since the starting rookie days in BBC?
For me, it was my conditioning, and I got this tempo down and the speed of the game down a lot quicker. So just coming into training camp and having that same mentality, same speed.
I think picked up and asking you and why nickname for you too. You have any ideas?
No, not yet. Not yet.
How'd the offseason go? OTAs, camp, and everything for you?
I think it went as good as it could go. With everything that's going on with me moving back to the left from right and, everything that's going on. But, I still got a couple more weeks to, just hone in on my skills and continue to develop on the left side and, come in ready for camp.
What do the next few weeks look like for you?
Grind mode, train. These next 6 weeks are important for me, for me and the team, because we're all one. So, I'm just trying to grind through and do whatever I can to help my team. So.
You've been through a round of Latrobe already. What's your advice to the rookies getting up there?
Stay hydrated. Stay hydrated because it get hot. But me, I'm from Georgia, so I'm kind of used to it. But I always tell them, just because. Some people are from, they think they coming to Pittsburgh, it's going to be cold, this and that. No, it gets hot here, so, stay hydrated.
If they ask your advice, any of the rookies have come to you and say, hey, what am I in for?
it's gonna be tough. You know, I'm gonna shoot it to them straight. I'm gonna tell them, you know, like this ain't no cakewalk. I'm pretty sure they know that, but you know, they just gotta have that mentality coming in, or it's not gonna look good. You got to come in with that mentality, ready to work. You know, ready to take somebody's head off, because that's just gonna make everybody better at the end of the day.
As far as moving to the left side for you, do you feel like if we were to start games tomorrow, if you guys were to get out there, you'd be set, or do you need this time to kind of go back?
If I'm being honest, I think I probably do need a couple more weeks. Not saying that I'll be bad, but you know, just for me, you know, just to feel like I'm in the right mindset to play an actual game, you know, versus somebody else other than going against like a Alex Highsmith or a Nick, or you know. So,
Broderick, when you guys are getting here, is there anyone who's consistently like the first lineman in the locker room or the meeting room, or is it kind of just like you guys are still figuring out that kind of stuff?
That's a tough question for me to ask, because in the morning I do not come in the locker room. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I'm either in there or I'm going. I'm in there or I'm going up there. So
I got you.
You know, I'm just always trying to take care of myself. You know, like in the mornings when I got a little bit of downtime, instead of trying to do it around this time when everybody, you see, it gets hectic. So you know, I really don't know. That's a good question. For me, I would think it'd be Isaac. You know, every time I'm in the building, I see Isaac. So that's who I would name.
Pat Meyer said that, you know, you guys are working on consistency. What do you think you guys are able to set as far as a tone that can help you be more consistent going into training?
I think it's just the gelling part, because we still have, you know, some new guys on the line, including myself. Isaac's really the only vet, so, you know, everybody's really just trying to gel around him, you know, see what works for him and what don't work, and then, you know, try and pick up off of that and, you know, just continue to build.
I asked Joey the same question. He gave an interesting answer, just talking about, like, the camaraderie between guys like you and him that came in your third year, and, like, there's expectations for new leaders to start to emerge.
Yeah.
What kind of camaraderie do you feel like that across like the young
man? The guys I came. You talking about the guys I came in with,
yes.
right? Yeah, those guys, man. You know, I feel like I have a great connection with everybody I came in with. Joey, Nick, Keanu, you know, all of them. I think we just bonded it from, you know, the beginning. I remember when we first got here, we were always in the locker room. I think we had like a rookie dinner or something. We was all in here just for like an hour, just chopping it up, getting to know one another. So I feel like, you know, that was good for us to do. You know, I see a lot of young guys do it. You know, we may go out to eat one night or something, you know, just to continue to build the bond, you know, stay connected.
The guys that kind of came in with you, Broderick, Keanu, guys that are second and third year players, to start stepping up into leadership roles?
Definitely. I feel like everybody that I came with, we all know what we have to do. This is coming into our time. We're not rookies anymore. We're not the kids. So I feel like we're all ready. We all got that sense of urgency with us. That's the main thing Coach T always tell us, is the older guys got to have that sense of urgency and get those old habits off tape. So that's what we're all doing.
There's been a lot of stuff from fans about like the color of gloves that Joey Porter wears. Is that something you've been focusing on, or are you focusing more on your technique?
Yeah, I'm not focusing on that at all. You know, I get that asked often, but yeah, I'm not really focused on that. I know there's bigger things I got to work on and clean up in my game, and that's lower on the list.
Having gone against DK, what makes him so tough?
Can you say that one more time?
Having gone against DK, what makes him so tough?
I mean, I've gone against him my rookie year. It was a good matchup. He's a big physical guy that could run pretty fast, got great hands. So, I mean, yeah, he's a great wide receiver that's been in this league for a long time. So I'm just always happy to go against those type of talents, because I know what I want to accomplish in my side. So I love it.
Joey, have you talked to any of the younger rookie guys about what Latrobe's like? Did you give them any advice?
Yeah, be prepared. You know, Coach T always say conditioning is king. So just tell all those guys be really well conditioned, well trained, and really just get ready to get after it, because that's what we're about to do.
What does Coach Alexander bring to coaching the secondary?
I mean, he just brings a lot of energy and a lot of juice to the team. You know, like I said, I had him my rookie year, and he's the same guy when I first met him to now. So he just had more control over the room. So he's bringing a lot of energy, bringing a lot of great knowledge to the team and to the secondary, and we just love having him around.
Do you think he can help you guys with some of the communication issues that happened late last season?
Yeah, definitely. You know, especially since he's our corners coach, secondary coach. He's been doing a lot of correcting, a lot of fixing to that, and we really just been attentive and really listened to him.
You had a unique relationship with KZ, I feel like, and Thornhill kind of seems like the same guy to me, at least from my eyes. How's he going to fit in with you guys?
I mean, he fit in great, like a shoe. I mean, we got a lot of great guys here that know how to gel, and he's been one of those guys that came in and know how to gel with the team. We're really just happy to have him on the squad and bring his presence on the field, so it was a good pickup.
Have you learned anything from Slay yet?
Yeah, I'm always in Slayer. I told him when he got here, I'm always be in his ear. It's just a little simple conversation we have. Just certain plays that I see, or ask him if he's seen it different, or what would you do in these different types of situations. And I'm always going to ask him and be in his ear about that. And he's a great guy because he's always going to give me knowledge on the game, and that's what he really wants to do. So it's been great.
You expecting to see Metcalf every day in the throw?
I would hope so, unless one of us not practicing. But yeah, hopefully I get to see him every day at practice. Get that good work in. I can't complain about that.
How's it going so far?
Pretty good, I think so.
On the communication tip, what have you guys been able to kind of lay as groundwork and say, like, all right, we're going to hit the Trove running and making sure we're all on the same page?
I think it's really just bringing everything back to the basics, and I feel like that's what we did this whole time at OTA, the minicamp, is basically going back to the basics and relearning everything. Got some new lingo for different stuff, so really just getting that under command and have everybody communicating was our main goal this around this time, and I feel like we really did that.